Good evening, everyone. My name is Jessica Martin. I'm one of the admissions counselors here at the New Mexico Military Institute in Roswell, New Mexico. I am also an alumnus of NMMI, graduated from 2009 in the high school program and 2011 from the junior college program. We are very excited that you are going to join us here on August, and we are glad also that you joined us tonight to hear more about what you can expect when you come here for your first day. Tonight, we have a couple of cadets that have been here for a while, so you can hear their perspectives about what to expect on the first day, what to pack, about what the classes are like, extracurricular activities, sports, and whatnot. Please ask questions during this event. Tonight is meant to be an open discussion to help you prepare for August. Right here on live chat on YouTube, on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, using hashtag NMMI Day 1, and that's the number 1. Or snap us a question to Snapchat on account to Snap MMI Live. All right, so let's get started and have our cadets take a minute to introduce themselves. And we'll start with Katie Fleury. Okay.
Hi, everybody. My name is Katie Fleury. I'm from Roswell, New Mexico. I graduated from the high school division in 2016, and now I'm currently a cadet as a junior college sophomore.
Hello, my name is Ian Kerna. I'm a cadet at the New Mexico Military Institute. My hometown is Roswell, New Mexico, and this will be my 6th year. I also graduated the high school program in 2016.
Hello, my name is Alan Romero. I'm from Santa Rosa, New Mexico. I'm a 4-year cadet, and I'm fixing to graduate here in May from both high school and college.
Hello, everyone. My name is Violeta Konsolic. I am from Serbia, a small country in Eastern Europe. I graduated from junior college in May 2017.
Okay, well, great. Well, let's start with the first question, and we'll ask Mr. Ian Kernet. What was your biggest fear when you were here your first day on campus, and how did you overcome it?
My biggest fear was I didn't know how I was actually going to make it through the school. I was nervous that I wouldn't make any friends, that if it was going to be too hard, if I wasn't going to be able to pass the school, the PT. I didn't know if I just didn't know exactly what was going to happen. So the way that I overcame my fear is I made friends fairly fast. And when you make friends here, they stick for life. I have a lot of friends that are still my best friends that I made 6 years ago at this school. And you guys help each other get through it quite a bit, because when times are tough, your friends are always there to help bring you up and joke around with you.
Okay, great. I've heard before, and I believe it's actually from Katie. She once said that you come here for the education, but you stay for your friends. And I think that's a really good statement about friendship here at the Institute. So now, I know a lot of people are afraid of coming here because they don't know anyone, but most of the people that do come to NMMI don't know anyone when they first begin. So Katie, can you tell us a little bit about your roommate, and do you get to pick your own roommate?
So when it comes to your roommate, you don't get to pick your own roommate. It's kind of given to you when you get here. However, you're going to get to experience new people that way. I'm from New Mexico. I'm from Roswell, so my roommate can't be from Roswell, New Mexico. All of my roommates were extremely amazing. I've had some from Poland. I've had some from Hawaii. It was super amazing because I got really close with them. I spent a summer in Hawaii. This next summer, I'm spending the summer in Poland with my other roommate. So it gives you a chance to really learn about other cultures, to make great friends. It also teaches you life skills, because obviously you're not going to be living at home your whole life. So it's good to get out and meet people. It also gives you a great friend for life, and you'll have homes all around the world because there's tons of NMMI alumni.
Alan, could you tell us how NMMI helps you connect to people?
So expanding on what Katie had said with meeting new people, like she said her roommate was from Poland. You don't get to pick your own roommate until you've been here at least a year. So if you're from a certain state, you can't be roommates with someone from that same state, for example. And that's how NMMI helps you meet new people, because they require you to be more diverse with your roommates there. Joining several clubs, we have so many clubs that pertain to nationalities. We have Pacific Islander Club, Native American Club. We have a lot of nationality clubs there too. So that's how NMMI welcomes diversity and helps you make new friends and meet new people.
Okay, and Alan, could you tell us when your roommates are assigned?
Your roommate is going to be assigned on matriculation day, which means that the day that you arrive here, which is registration day, and it's assigned via computer. So you really have no control over you don't get to pick your roommate again. It's all computer based.
Okay, so another worry that people have is around PT and exercise. So Violetta, you being an athlete, could you tell us a little bit about the PT and how fit you have to be, what you can do to prepare to be here in August, please?
We really care about you here, and you need to be fit, and then you have to be a part of a sport team or do PT. If you're not a part of a sport team, then you're gonna do PT Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. When it comes to PT, we do running, push-ups, and pull-ups. You guys do not have to prepare for it. However, if you would like to come here and be ready for PT, I would suggest to do some running and push-ups or pull-ups. If you guys join a sports team, then you will practice with them during PT time.
Okay, great. We also have a lot of questions about what it is like to be a rat. So if you guys could share a little bit of your perspective, you can tell us what rat even stands for, and also how intense it is and what you do during the rat training period, please. And we'll start with Alan for that.
So being a rat, which means recruit at training, your uniform is going to consist of black, red, and white tube socks. It's going to be a red hat. And it's basically just being the new recruit. You have to learn the ropes. You have to learn everything. And that's what the first 21 days are for, when there's no cell phones allowed. And it's the old-fashioned way. It makes you make friends the old-fashioned way, instead of looking down at your cell phone all the time and just texting all day. So that's where 21 days is for, and that's very important. And then 42 days after that, that's the first time that you can go off campus and you can go spend the night somewhere with your parents or your friends or something.
Okay, and how intense would you say it is?
The first 21 days is always tough. I know I hated my phone being taken away. I hated the first 21 days, but after I got a leadership position and I got more organized and learned time management, it was a breeze, and it's a breeze now.
Okay, so let's talk about the actual day one, when the students report, what it's like, what to expect, what the parents will be doing. Katie Ann, would you mind speaking a little bit about that, please?
All right, so your first day, it's practically like herding cats. You're going to be going everywhere. Your parents might lose you at times, and they're like, oh my God, where'd my kid go? Don't worry, you will find them. So you're going to go through stations. It's going to be financial aid stations, sports stations, admission stations. So you're going to go through each of those stations. Then you're going to get your first uniform. By the way, that's going to look like a rat hat, which is a red baseball cap. You're going to get a red t-shirt and basketball shorts and some very nice looking tube socks. If you want to know what that looks like, check like a grandpa or grandma's sock drawer. So after that's done, your family will not be allowed to continue on with you. They'll let you go into the stations with your family, but after all of that's been completed, they have to go. Now, fun tip, you're going to have to be carrying your luggage around with you. So make sure you compact it, because it's going to be really hard to carry it if you have more than you can carry. So the first day, it's a little sad when it gets nighttime and you're like, oh my God, they just dropped me off here, but it's going to be okay. The next morning is going to be even more hectic than that morning, and you'll be so tired eventually. The days will just go by so fast, and before you know it, you'll see your parents, you got your phone back, you got privileges, and it'll be super fun.
Okay, we've been getting a lot of questions about sports on the live feed. So Ian, could you tell us a little bit about how the sports work and how you can sign up for them?
Okay, so sports, if you want to play in junior college and you are not recruited, the best way is you can go talk to the head coaches for that sport and ask them if you can walk on, so a tryout. If you are in high school, we have what is called a mess hall. That's where we eat 3 times a day. High school sports are announced. So for football, if the first practice is going to be on a Wednesday, they will announce anybody that wants to go play Colt football, report to Staff Field at a certain time. And that's how you can join sports.
Okay, wonderful. And now we're talking a little bit about what the students need to pack. They're going to be getting a list from the commandant's office, and there's also a list available on the website that gives you a pretty good guide and idea of what is allowed to bring. But then students still have questions about if they can bring like a fridge, a microwave, a coffee pot. Violetta, do you mind telling us what is allowed and not allowed to be held at the Institute, please?
We are allowed to have only most important stuff like our books and notebooks. However, we don't get to have fridge, microwave, or coffee pot. To have a TV, you have to be an old cadet. Once, if you get leadership position and you're an officer, you can have a coffee pot in your room.
Okay, and what do you suggest your stuff should be packed in?
You guys can bring your suitcase. However, as just like Katie said, do not bring too much. You will not be allowed to wear civilian clothes at any time. Every time when you go off post, you will wear a uniform. Make sure that you bring some nice clothes for your furloughs. If you guys decide to leave school and take a furlough, which means that you get to leave school and sleep over with your family or with your friends. You get to sign out in your civilian clothes and wear your civilian clothes while you're on furlough. However, do not bring a lot of civilian clothes.
Okay, just a reminder to our viewers that you can ask questions on our live feed on YouTube Live today. You can just post them to our social media using the hashtag NMMI Day 1. And you can post them on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or also you can snap them to NMMI Live. Okay, so now let's talk, Ian, a little bit about the liberties that you get at a military school. So a lot of people want to learn about when you can earn privileges. Can you speak a little bit about that, please?
Yes, I'd be happy to. So most of your privileges aren't going to come until after the 42-day ceremony. So as you hear us talking a lot, we say rat week or 21 days. That's your first 3 weeks here. And then the 42 days is what finishes your quote on rat training. And that's when you can start going off post. So after 42 days, we have what's called general permit. You can go off post on Saturday nights from 5 o'clock to 11. Then you can go off post on Sundays from 1 to 5. And if there's an emergency for whatever reason, you can also sign out in the command post, which you'll learn about when you arrive on campus. As Violetta was just saying, we have furloughs. Furloughs are also, you gain that privilege after the 42 days. When you are a new cadet, you will get 1 furlough, and that's a mini furlough. So you can go home with your parents on a Saturday night and then come back on Sunday at 5 o'clock. And then when you become a private is when you get a lot more privileges. You get quite a bit more. When you become a private, you can start going off post on Friday nights from 5 o'clock until 9:30. On Saturdays, you can go off post from 1 to 5 and then 7 to 11. And then on Sundays, you can go off post the same time from 1 to 5. When being a private, you also get more furloughs. You'll have also a full furlough instead of just a mini. And that is where you can go off post on a Friday night, stay off post with your parents or out of town, and then come back on a Sunday.
Okay, Katie, could you tell us when the uniforms are issued?
So we have what's called a first issue and we have what's called a second issue. Your first issue is what I was describing to you. You're going to get that on your first day, which is the red t-shirt, the basketball shorts, the tube socks, and your rat hat. That also comes with black tennis shoes. And then you're going to get second issue. It's done by troops, so you're going to go in sections. So the first people might go on Monday, and then you might go on Tuesday. So it's done within a week's time. And that is about 2 weeks after you've been here. So they're preparing you for your uniforms, which you're going to wear on the 21-day ceremony. And you'll be issued your white shirts. You get 5 short sleeve white shirts, 5 pairs of blue pants, and then you'll get what's called ACUs, which is the Army Combat Uniform. It's the camouflage uniform that you would see in most military movies. And so that's issued pretty quickly. You're gonna try them on, however, they have to be tailored. So within the first 2 weeks you're here, you should be getting them.
Okay, and can you tell us about school supplies? What should the students be packing for that?
Awesome. So fun fact, that is not actually on the to bring list. However, obviously you do need it. So you need to bring the basics. So college rule, like 3 notebooks, obviously pencils, pens of your choosing. You need to bring binders, and you need to bring at least 2 composition notebooks. Now, high schoolers, unless you're in Algebra 2 or above, you will not be allowed to use a calculator. So you might not need to worry about that. However, if you're in college, it might be a good idea to use the TI-84 calculator. We do use that a lot in college for our physics, our chemistry, our math. So that's definitely important. And for the high schoolers that, like I said, are in Algebra 2 above, it would also behoove you to get one.
Okay, great. And we have a question about the classes. So, Alan, could you tell us a little bit about the classes, how they are, and if they will help you stay focused and prepared for difficult situations?
So the classes, we offer over 200 plus classes combined, junior college and high school. So some useful classes that I can list, like financial literacy, that teaches you about time or financial management for the future, things like that. There's also just health classes that you can take, science and nutrition classes, things like that. Those are actually handy, useful classes. Now there are required classes, like for high schoolers, you have to take 5 core solids, which means classes that meet every day, and in college a minimum of 15 credit hours, things like that.
Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the basic health and safety at the Institute. Katie, could you tell us a little bit about how you get assigned to a TLA and how your family can interact with them?
When it comes to a TLA, you're going to find out who their TLA is on the first day. When they go to the stations I was talking about, one of those stations is the Commandant's office, and they will be assigned a room and a troop. There is one adult that's in charge of each troop. They're called TLAs. That stands for Troop Leadership Advisor. There's about 50 people in each troop, so one person, they got a handle on things. For the high schoolers, the parents of the high schoolers, I should say, they definitely want to get the number to the TLA. Because your child is a minor, you're going to be contacting the TLA a lot. They can get you in touch with their advisors for school. They're going to let you know when there's disciplinary issues going on, and they're also going to have to contact you if your child does want to take a furlough, because obviously they are minors and parents need to know where their children is at all times. College, not so much. If they're 18 or older, the TLA will not contact you if they're taking a furlough, but that relationship is big with your parent and TLA. And even on the first day, you just might want to say, hi, this is my son. You know, if there's any problems, email me, because you're going to be getting emails anyway, just an update. Maybe they'll email you, hey, your son did really great today. I hope you know he's pulling his grades up. He has an A now, so just letting you know, you should be proud of him, maybe make a phone call. So that's the type of interaction you're going to get with them. So on your first day, parents, make sure you do get your child's TLA, their contact information.
Okay, so they are the, in case of emergency, they are the contact people, right?
Yes.
Okay, So now can you tell me a little bit about how the medical situations are handled? If you have an appointment that maybe it's not in Roswell, how do you get a hold of that?
So if you have an appointment that's not in Roswell, we have a 24-hour form that you're going to fill out. You have to get it signed by your teachers so they know you're going to be gone for that day. However, like I said, it is 24 hours. So I actually go to Albuquerque, which is 3 hours away from here, for the dentist. So I have to get that filled out. Then you take it to our commandant and he signs it, and then you will go sign out in the infirmary. Totally a good idea. It does happen. So if you prefer that, go for it. If you don't want to travel outside of Roswell to go to your appointments, you can always come here. The infirmary has a great list of dentists, doctors, you name it. And they can actually set you up appointments in the infirmary, and they will actually drive you there if you don't have a car. So the infirmary is really good about handling those situations.
Okay, Violetta, could you tell us if there are vegetarian options for food at the mess hall?
There are. We have a great salad bar and a lot of different fruits, different drinks. So there is an option to eat vegetarian food.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit now about academics. What kind of educational support is there for the students, and how about night study hall? Could you guys talk a little bit about that, and we'll talk to Ian about it.
All right, so night study hall, start with that. That is Sunday night from 7 o'clock until 9:30, and it's on a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So all those days we have night study hall from the times that I said, from 7 o'clock until 9:30. And what night study hall is, you either have to be in your room studying, doing homework, working on maybe a project, studying for a test. You have to be studying. It has to do something with academics. And then you don't always have to be in your room though. During night study hall, we also have a math lab, which is where a math teacher will always be during night study hall. So if you need help with your math, you can always go in there to get help. We also have the library is open. So if you're writing a paper about a book and you don't have access to it in your room, you can always go to the library during night study hall and look at the book, possibly check it out if you need to. As well, we also have a lot of tutors on campus to help with academic support. So during night study hall in the library, we have peer tutors. They are part of the National Honor Society. So that means they have above a 3.5 GPA, and they will have signs in the library posted where the peer tutor is at. We also have adult tutors that you can hire. So if you don't want a peer tutor, you can hire an adult tutor that in the library you can ask for a list of their names, and you can hire them for specific subjects, but most of them are proficient in just about every subject and can help you. And then another support, which is probably one of the best ones, is that our teachers are always in Monday through Friday at 7:15. So if you're struggling with that one math problem, or you're struggling with your essay, you just can't find the right word to use, or you're struggling with a sentence, you can always take it in to your teacher at 7:15 and you can get the extra help. Also, once a month, it's usually the first Saturday of the month or 4 weeks, we have an academic retreat. So what that is on Saturday, it starts at 8 o'clock. It's like night study hall. You have to be in your room, the library, or math lab, and you have to be studying. And it goes from 8 o'clock until 11 o'clock, 11 in the morning.
Okay, now let's talk a little bit about extracurricular activities. Violetta, could you tell me a little bit about how that works? And then can you talk a little bit about the Institute, if they have martial arts available, please?
We do not have martial arts. However, there is a lot of different sports that we offer. For high school, for males, we have baseball, football team, soccer, tennis, cross country, a track team. And a fun thing about being a high school is that you can do all of these sports. So for example, volleyball season starts early fall, August, and then it goes through October. When volleyball season is over, you can play basketball. When basketball season is over, you get to play tennis or run cross country. For college cadets, it's a little bit different. As Ian mentioned before, you would have to go and talk to head coach and see if you could walk on and possibly earn a full scholarship next semester or next year. We do have some clubs. We have air rifle, paintball, scuba diving, and you actually get a certificate so you can be a scuba diver. We do have a swim team as well.
Okay, and now Katie, we're wondering a little bit about early matriculation for those students that are coming in for band or athletes. Can you talk a little bit about how early matriculation works and when they would get their uniform issued, please?
So when it comes to early matriculation, there is actually going to be quite a few of you. Early matriculation really consists of band, prep, athletes, things of that nature. It's going to work the same way. However, it's not going to be as hectic because it's not everyone that's coming in. I know a lot of people were asking if they had to bring their own sheets. When it does come to early matriculation, if you get here in the morning on a weekday, we can get you sheets. However, if you're coming at night because of your plane or flight issues, stuff like that, you're going to need to bring your own sheets. If you don't, you're just going to be sleeping on a mattress for the night. So totally doable, just maybe not preferable. It will work the same, and then the rest of your rat buddies, as we call them, will be coming in on the 2nd and 3rd of August. So it's not going to be that much of a difference. You're going to get the first issue before them. Remember the first issue, the PT uniform, the red shirt, basketball shorts. Then you're going to get your bedding. All of the necessities is what's in first issue. You're going to get that first, obviously. And then when everyone else gets here, they're going to get their first issue. But then you guys will all go together to get your second issue and your uniforms. So you guys aren't going to be behind or too far ahead if you do come early.
Alan, can you tell us how you get placed in the troops, please?
So you get placed in the troops. It's all computer based again. So each troop, it consists of about 50 people average. And there's two what we call platoons, which has about 25 people each. First platoon is always going to be college. Second platoon is always going to be high school. So troops, their names are like Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and then it goes on like that. And then we separate them in the barracks as well. So when we say your troop cadre, that's the cadet cadre that's going to train you and stuff. And when you're assigned to a troop, again, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, it could be any of those. It's all computer based.
Okay, and how often can a cadet call home?
So after 21 days, you can have at it because you get your phone back. So after 3 weeks of being here, you can have your phone and you can call home whenever you have free time.
Okay, and then Katie, can you tell us a little bit about the uniform dress code for hair and nails for both men and women, please?
So guys, unfortunately, when you get here for your first 42 days, you're going to look so handsome being bald. So make sure you bring sunscreen. Be very wise when you choose your towel so your towel fuzz does not stick to your head. When it comes to girls, you're going to be wearing a French braid. No ifs, ands, or buts. And you will not be allowed to wear makeup for the first 42 days. And you'll not be allowed to wear earrings for the first 42 days. Guys, you won't be allowed to wear earrings, well, ever. So don't worry about that. Girls' nails, you guys cannot have any nails. So no nail polish, no acrylic. You're going all natural. If they're really long, you do have to clip them. They cannot be too long. So, fun stuff.
Great. And then Violetta, could you tell us how long it can take for you to become a cadet officer, please?
If only cadets that are in junior college can have a position of an officer, it can take up to 1 semester. Your first semester, you will be a RAT. and then you're going to be new cadet. However, after one semester, you're going to become a private, which gives you opportunity to apply for different positions and an officer position. So basically, you can be an officer after one semester. With this being said, this gives you option to have a bigger room and to have a coffee pot in your room.
Okay, now we have another sports question. Ian, can you tell us if the early commissioning program students are allowed to participate in sports, please?
Yes, ECP or early commissioning program cadets are allowed to participate in sports. The only thing with that is that you will have a heavier load with your extracurricular activities. You do have to do some coordinating between the ROTC department and the sports team. If there's a specific event that ROTC is doing that you have to be there, that may mean that you miss a practice or possibly miss a game. So there's a lot of communication between the two that you have to do on your own part to make sure that your coaches may know that you won't be at that practice because you're at a ROTC event, or let ROTC know that you won't be able to make that issue for uniforms or your dummy rifle because you're at football practice or baseball, or so be it. There's just, you have to communicate between the two.
Awesome. Now, Alan, can you tell us if people can come visit the cadets, please?
Yes, people can come visit cadets. After the 21-day milestone is the first time that parents or friends and family can come and visit you for the first time in 3 weeks. And then after that, you can't spend the night off campus until 42 days. And then once 42 days arrives, then you can take what we call a furlough, which is spending the night off campus, or you can go to Walmart after that, or you can go to eat or something.
Okay, Violetta, you'd probably be the perfect cadet to answer this question since you're an international student. Our live feed is wondering, if a cadet does not have a cell phone, how do they get to call home?
Well, I for sure can answer that question. I did not have an American number, but we have Wi-Fi here on campus, and you can have Wi-Fi and internet at all times. So you can FaceTime or Skype or just message your family once you get your phone back. Also, a great way to talk to your family if you're an international student is to send letters. During my first month here, I sent so many letters back home, and my family sent me letters. So it's just a great way to talk to your family during these first 21 days. And after that, you're going to have your phone back and you're going to have internet, so you can FaceTime and Skype them whenever you have free time.
That's awesome. And now, Katie, can you tell us how fighting and bullying is managed at the Institute, please?
Yes, fighting. Don't do it or you get kicked out. Done and simple. We do have bullying. I mean, there's bullying in any school, but it's not harsh bullying. I mean, I think bullying is more extreme other places because kids are so different. Here, we're all the same. I mean, girls can't call you ugly because they look just like you. They're wearing the same pants. They were wearing the same hairdo. They have no makeup on. So if I'm ugly, you must be ugly too. Same thing with the guys. You know, they're all bald, so, you know, it won't be very dramatic with them. We have all the same backpacks. We do all the same things. We do have cliques, obviously, but you're going to be a part of a family here. So they lift you up more than they tear you down. So don't worry about bullying. You're going to survive. It's really nice here. You're going to make friends. And yeah, so don't worry about bullying, but absolutely no fighting. Do not touch each other. That's stupid. We do have campus police here. They are not afraid to put you in county detention if you're over 18. It's not cool. And then if you're under 18, you have to call your parents and tell them that you hit someone and that you have to go and talk to our commandant and see if you get to stay here. It's just super embarrassing. Don't fight each other. It's not necessary.
Okay, now Alan, can you tell us if you have to wear a uniform during night study hall, and how about wearing a uniform on the weekends?
Okay, so during night study hall, if you're in any academic building, you can't be in what we call PTs, which is physical training uniform, the red shirt, black shorts that we had mentioned earlier. Those are called PTs. Those are not allowed in academic buildings. If you're in your room, you can be in those for during night study hall, but you don't have to be in uniform in your room if you're in during night study hall.
Okay, and now Ian, can you tell us what the typical schedule looks like for a high school freshman, please?
Yes, so the typical schedule for a high school freshman, we're going to start with math. Usually our freshmen that come into school here for high school, you take pre-algebra or algebra 1. Those are the two common math classes. For those of you who excel even better at math, you usually take algebra 2. Then it goes to English. You will take freshman English, and it's very simple. Usually you also take a global studies class and a general business class. Those are two classes that you usually take. For a science, it is usually biology. Sometimes freshmen take chemistry and then biology their sophomore year, but they usually take biology their first year. And then we also take languages. The two high school classes that we offer for language on campus are French and Spanish. The thing with French and Spanish is that we do offer it high school. Spanish goes all the way up until Spanish 3, and then you would have to take a college Spanish if you want to continue. We also offer 2 more language classes, but those are junior college. So if you want to take those, what you have to do is talk to the department head of our English building in Lee Hall, and you have to request permission to take either Arabic or Chinese, which are strictly college classes. So if you're able to do that option as a freshman, you will also get college credit for both of those if you took either one of those languages. And finally, if you come in as a freshman, there is no doubt that you will be taking what we call LET 1, or Leadership Education Training 1. You have to take a leadership education class as a high schooler. So we call it LET. You will have to take LET. And just to get this out there, if you are a junior and you're coming in for your first year, you will be in LET 1 as well. If you're a senior coming in, you will be a LET 1. And then after you finish that 1 year, you move up to LET 2, LET 3, and LET 4. In college, we do have to take 1 leadership course once semester. So, but that's your typical schedule for a high school freshman.
Okay, and then staying with you, Ian, do you have to shave your facial hair daily?
Yes, you do. That's a great question. Right now, you can see that I do have a little scruff going on. That is because it's the summertime. So as you can see, the summertime, you are allowed to grow your hair out again. You can have facial hair. You don't have to shave it all the time. But when it comes to the school year, you have to shave every single day. Now, I'm going to be honest, for some of you that don't grow facial hair as fast, or a lot of freshmen, you don't have to shave I know when I was a freshman, I had to shave once a month. I didn't grow facial hair fast at all. So once a month, I was good. But if you grow facial hair fast, you may also have to shave 2 times a day, because if you don't shave, that is a stick, which you'll be disciplined for not shaving. And haircuts go the same. You have to get your hair cut every single week. So for being a rat, you have to get a 0 all your hair for the first 21 days, well, the first 42 days, every single week. So you're going to have to learn time management when you come here.
Okay, then Katie, what happens if you are a girl and you cannot French braid?
So when I was here, I didn't know how to French braid, but my roommate did. Also some really good roommate bonding experience, by the way. If you don't know how to French braid though, and you can't get anyone to French braid your hair, unfortunately, you will have to cut your hair, and it will have to be short. You can get it cut. It's like The short, yes, and it can't be touching your collar. So that is difficult for some girls to get it cut like that. However, it will have to be done. The French braid also with that, it has to go straight back in your head. So you can see, like, I have a side braid right now. You can't have side braids. It's going straight back. You can't do the cool little twisties or straight back. We keep it simple here. So
Now, Alan, can you talk to us a little bit about the cell phone policy?
Okay, so again, for your first 21 days, you can't have your cell phone. After that, you can have it in your pocket, and you can't use it in academic buildings without a teacher's permission, or it will be taken from you. You can't walk and text. You can't talk and walk at the same time either. That's our cell phone policy. For the first offense, you get it taken away for a week, and the second offense, you get it taken away for a month. And the third offense, your parents are just going to be called, and it'll be shipped off. And the commandant, our commandant he's our head honcho. He's in charge of all of the cadets. So who will be taking that away personally. So don't use it outside of academic buildings or inside academic buildings. Don't use it walking or texting outside. It's just pretty much safe in your room.
Okay, Violetta, can you tell us if the cadets are allowed to receive care packages?
Our cadets are allowed to receive care packages. However, during first 21 days, parents, please don't send them food. We're not allowed to have food during first 21 days. After 21 days, you can still send them packets, and good tips would be to send them sunscreen, some water filters, just personal hygiene. They're gonna get their mail slot number, so you can send them letters during first 21 days and care packages, but no food.
Okay, Alan, can you talk to us a little bit about religious services? Can you tell us what services are offered on campus, if you are required to go to them, and also what happens if there isn't a service that is available on campus, but there is one in town?
So every Sunday, available in our chapel, we have a Protestant service at 8 a.m. and we have a Catholic service at 5 p.m. And then if you're of a different faith, we have our own chaplain who can set up an arrangement with a shuttle that ships to your church here in Roswell if you're of a different faith. And we also have Bible study classes for Protestant people, and you can also get confirmed here if you're Catholic.
Okay, now back to Violetta. Can you tell us a little bit about the bathrooms and how they work?
So we do not have restrooms and showers in our room. Our bathrooms are outside of our room, so you would have to walk to use your bathroom. We have restrooms and showers every fifth room. Once you get officer position, you get to move into bigger room, and that gives you your own restroom, or if you're lucky, your own shower.
Okay, great. And now for Ian, are you allowed to have gaming consoles in your rooms?
You are allowed to have gaming consoles, but the kicker is you're not allowed to have them until you become an old cadet. So an old cadet is after you have finished at least 2 semesters. So your first year, you're not allowed to have a TV or gaming consoles here on campus. But after you finish that year and you become an old cadet, you are allowed to have a TV, which can't be more than 24 inches. When I say 24 inches, it's the diagonal length of the TV, because that's how they're measured. And the TLAs will check it diagonally. So if they think it's too big, they won't measure the height of it. So if you're thinking that you'll get away, oh, I'll get one that's 24 inches high, they'll never know. They measure it diagonally. So that's a tip. And then you will be allowed to have your gaming consoles. I do recommend, though, that you don't play on it all the time. And you have to learn time management. If you want to play games, I'd make sure your homework's done. Because a lot of students don't pass classes because they play too many video games. And the TLAs and the adults and all the cadets in charge, they can't do everything. So they can't, constantly make sure you're working on homework. That's part of learning to grow up and be an adult, that you have to learn to put certain things aside unless school is not that important to you.
Okay, then Ian, can you tell me how what the Gauss rifle team is and how it works, please?
Yes, so the Gauss rifle team, that is a activity that is ran through our JROTC, so where your LET classes are. Now, just saying that junior college cadets can participate in it. What the Gauss rifle team is they use the rifles that were issued. They do different maneuvers they do formation maneuvers, but in a different way. It's almost a freestyle. And they learn how to spin the rifles, they flip them, they do all kinds of cool things with the rifles. And one thing for you junior college cadets, if you want to join Gauss Rifle, like I said, you can, but the JROTC also performs. They have competitions. And when there's a JROTC competition, you won't be allowed to perform with them then, though. But for our homecoming, when they perform in our plaza right in front of our barracks, you can perform in that and all the other performances as long as it's not JROTC related.
Okay, and Violetta, are there any employment opportunities for new cadets?
There are many employment opportunities here on campus. However, there is only one condition. It is to be here for at least one semester. We do offer jobs as for lifeguards, athletic training, admissions, and then different work studies.
Okay, then back to Ian. When are cadets allowed to use the gym?
So cadets are allowed to use the gym when we have free time and if it's open. So during night study hall for your first semester, you will not be allowed to use the gym. But when you become a private, if you have good enough grades, so a 3.5 and above, and you have a good deportment so you don't get in trouble, you can use the gym at night, which is usually open from 7 to about 8:30. And then also our gym, in the Godfrey Athletics Center, the times vary for when it's open. So one of the things to do is if you want to go work out, if you have free time, you can go ahead and head over there. But if it's not open, it's not open. So when you're able to work out varies between your free time and the gym being open.
Okay, Alan, when are you allowed to go home?
So again, on the 21-day milestone, that's the first time that you can see your family, and they have to come to you on the 21 days. Not until after 42 days can you actually take what's called a furlough, which there's two types of furloughs. There's a mini furlough, which is just an overnighter from Saturday to Sunday. And there's a full furlough, which starts Friday after school to Sunday at 5. So not until after 42 days can you visit home.
Okay, and Katie, can you tell us what type of civilian clothes the students should pack?
When you're packing civilian clothes, like we've said before, you're not going to be wearing them on campus ever. So you're only going to be wearing them to sign out. Guys, you need slacks and you definitely need a polo. Whatever color of your choosing, make sure there's no holes. Just make it look nice to sign out in. Otherwise, they're going to say no, go change into your uniform to sign out. Girls, you also have to dress professionally. No booty shorts, no holey jeans, no crop tops. Keep it nice. A dress that hits your knees. A nice blouse with nice intact jeans. We all know what looking nice is. No flip-flops. Just keep it nice, professional. A nice shirt with slacks or a nice pair of jeans will be fine, and nice shoes, no flip-flops. So just keep that in mind. You need one pair of those at least. I know a lot of you who are coming from different countries cannot always go back to your countries to pick up your clothes when you have breaks. So just pack your clothes in whatever you have there. Just know that it gets really hot during the summer and it gets really, really cold during the winter. So keep that in mind when you're packing.
Okay, and then Katie, can you tell us about what type of shoes the student should bring with them, please?
So never, ever, ever, ever forget your shower shoes. You need those. It's going to be super gross if you have to walk across concrete and shower without your shower shoes. Make sure you bring those. I can't stress that enough. Also, we do issue you New Balance sneakers that are all black. Now, if you don't like that brand, I don't like that brand. I don't like running in them. So I do have my own sneakers that are Nike. So you can bring your own brand of tennis shoes. However, the whole shoe has to be black. I'm talking even the little Nike swish has to be black. The sole of the shoe counts. So that definitely has to be black too. So just all black. Otherwise, you're going to have to color it in with Sharpie. They made us do that. It's super embarrassing. So don't forget that part. And that's about all the shoes you're going to need, because you're only going to be wearing 3 pairs of shoes, which is your shower shoes, your tennis shoes, and what we call baits, which is our dress shoes, and you have to wear those no matter what.
Okay, so we have a question about what you can sleep in, and they're wondering if they can sleep in their compression shorts. So let's direct that question to Alan, please.
Okay, so there's different rules for guys and girls. So guys, the minimum that you can have on is just a shirt and some sort of shorts. Now with the girls, you have to cover up. You have to use a shirt and shorts as well, because TLAs do go around and do bed checks, and you don't want them peeping around, looking at you or anything when they do bed checks. So there's that. And if you're changing, you always put your shade down. So each room comes with the shade.
Okay, now we're getting to another question from our live feed. So Ian, can you tell us the difference between a stick and a tour, please?
There is no difference between a stick and a tour. So if someone says you're stuck, what that means is, this is for an example, if you didn't clean your room, the TLA may say, hey, you're going to receive a stick, and they're going to say you're going to get a 2-2. So to break it down, what a 2-2 is 2 is one of those 2s is for 2 hours of marching, and then the other 2 is for demerits. Now, what the hours of marching, those are what we call tours. And the way our system is, it's a 1-for-1. So if you get 1 tour, you're going to get 1 demerit. So a 2-2, you get 2 hours of marching and 2 demerits. And the hours of marching, if you get stuck, it takes away your Friday after schools and then your weekends. So if you get stuck something like a 22-22 and you have 22 hours of marching, you will have to march all weekend long. And it's not a constant 22. Our times of marching are Friday after school until 5 o'clock, and then from 7 to 10, Saturday from 1 to 5, and then 7 to 11, and then Sunday 1 to 5. But you have to march it takes up your whole entire weekend. And then during the tour squad, you don't march for 4 hours straight if you have 4. What you do is you march for 50 minutes and then take a 10-minute break. March for 50 minutes, then a 10-minute break. And that's our tours and sticks. They're the same thing, just some different terminology there.
Okay, Violetta, can you talk to us about the role that your academic counselor has in your education and how they help you pick out your classes?
Yes, so first week when you come here, we are gonna take you to meet your academic advisor. Your academic advisor is gonna help you with setting up your schedule and taking your classes. If you are in college, your academic advisor is gonna help you to pick classes that are for your major. In case that you're not sure what you wanna do, you always can take just basic classes and get your associate's degree. Your academic advisor is going to be assigned to you based on your major. And if you don't know, if you're an athlete, most likely your advisor is going to be your coach. They're going to help you set up schedule, pick your classes, pick different times that work for you. They're gonna work with you to get all of your classes that you need to get done so you can graduate from here. If you're in high school, you're also gonna have one academic advisor, and you're gonna have a class that is called seminary. And every week you're gonna meet with your advisor for 1 hour. It's actually a class. So they're gonna help you to take classes that you need to graduate from NMMI. And then once when you come to senior year, they're gonna help you to apply for different colleges and make sure that you are taking all classes that you need to graduate.
Okay, and then now, Katie, are you allowed to leave post without a uniform?
No, you are never allowed to leave post without a uniform unless you're on furlough. Funny, someone should ask that because I was asked that the other day and they're like, would they know if I did leave? Yes, we will know. Not a lot of 13 to 20-year-olds make it an option to be bald, and you're going to have a different persona about you. You're going to start walking different. Also, your civilian clothes, when you get here as a rat, they're going to go in a trunk room. So the only ones you can probably get away with is a white t-shirt and some blue jeans and whatever shoes you're wearing. Now, with that in mind, Roswell, everyone knows NMMI kids, and Roswell's it's a dairy town. So we wear jeans and t-shirts and boots. So it's going to be kind of suspicious when someone's walking out with like big old DCs or brands that we don't usually see here, and a white t-shirt with a bald head, or girls with your hair French braided and your style of clothing from, like, you could definitely tell a person that dresses from California from Roswell. It's just totally different. So they will know, don't do it. Someone will call the school, and then it's just a fiasco from there. So just wear your uniform.
Okay, we have a question, Katie, about the NMMI sweatsuits. Can you talk about them? Can you talk about if they're long sleeve, short sleeve, or shorts, pants, or the color of them, please?
So we call them swishies. They're basically windsuit PTs. We call them that because when we walk, they go swish, swish, swish. They are long sleeve, and it's a jacket, so you're going to be wearing it with a long sleeve t-shirt or a short sleeve t-shirt, and you're going to wear the jacket, and then you're going to wear the pants. Now, those are reflective, so the back of them says NMMI, and they have a red stripe going down them, which are reflective, and the same with the pants as well, going down the side of the leg. Here, it does get really windy, so it's super beneficial. However, it does get super cold here, and those don't really protect you from the coldness, just the wind. So when winter does come, when you go back for your winter break, I do suggest getting leggings or compression shirts that can be worn underneath your uniform that are thermal, so you can stay super warm and still be in uniform. Because I know I wear that. I wear leggings because you're not allowed to change the uniform in any way. However, I'm one of those cold people, so I definitely buy all the cold gear, so I'm good to go.
Okay, we have a question for an international student. So, Ms. Violeta, could you please tell us about the visa interview experience? This is a question for an international student. So if I could please have Violeta talk to us a little bit about the visa experience, the interview experience.
Yes. So once when you get accepted to school is going to send you your I-20, which is your legal proof that you're going to go to school here. The way it works with our embassy is that I had to call them and set up an appointment. So you go to your embassy, you bring all your paperwork from here, your I-20 and the acceptance letter, and then you're gonna have interview with your embassy. They're gonna ask you questions like most basic questions. How did you hear about school? Why do you wanna go there? Did you get accepted? You're gonna give them your paperwork, and then they're gonna approve or deny your visa. Most of the time your visa gets approved because it is school and you have all paperwork that you need.
Okay, Alan, can students have personalized bedding?
So you cannot have personalized bedding unless it's all white, of course, but we already provide that anyway. So I don't know why you would bring it. It's just a basic lining for the mattress, and then mattress cover, and then just a basic sheet. And we provide the NMMI blanket. In fact, you have to have that in your room for what we call DRI, which is daily room inspection. And that's just a basic cleaning of your room, like nothing on the floor, bed made, mirrors wiped, sinks clean, things like that. And just a basic hospital fold at the end of the bed.
Okay, Katie, can you speak to us about how a student can earn scholarships at the Institute, please?
So when you apply to NMMI, you're already in the program for scholarships. Now, as the year goes on, you will be emailed through your cadet email a list of scholarships that you can apply for. And they're very specific scholarships. However, you should apply for them all in case someone didn't. So one time I actually got a scholarship for living in Ruidoso, which I don't, and being adopted from Vietnam, which I'm not. So definitely apply for all of these scholarships. If you're from New Mexico, we do have what's called the legislative scholarship. You definitely need to check that out. It definitely helped my tuition. It does get cheaper the longer you're here. If you come from freshman year in high school till sophomore year in college, they give you $5,000. The longer you're here, the more scholarships you get. You'll get sponsored scholarships by our alumni. When I started out, I had to pay full tuition for my uniforms. I can tell you right now, once all my scholarships came in, I'm only paying $200 for this semester. So don't worry about it. Do as good as you can. That means keep your grades up and definitely keep your disciplinary in check, because that's what you have to do to qualify for these scholarships. You have to have A in what we call deportment, which is your disciplinary, and you have to have a good GPA. So make sure you keep those up, and then scholarships will just come to you.
Okay, now Ian, who is allowed to have a car and when?
So you're not allowed to have a car until you become a private. So that first semester, you're not allowed to have a car here. And then you're allowed to have a car your second year, or your second semester, my bad, your second semester of your senior year. And then junior college students can have a car as long as they're a private. There are some exceptions. If you're a junior and you absolutely need your car to get to and from home during the breaks on a furlough, what they do is they lock it up in a dirt lot, and they put a boot on it so that you're not allowed to drive it during the general permit times. And then they will unlock it and unboot it when it's time for you to go home on a break.
Okay, now if any of you guys can tell me a little bit about the band, they're wondering if band students need to bring their own instruments, and also if they need to bring a binder. So whoever wants to answer that question, please.
I believe that band students don't need to bring their own instruments, but I do not believe that the band director will not let you use your own instrument. It's your instrument, and they do have a place where they have their classes that they lock them up so it will be secure. And as far as binders go, you can bring as many binders as you want for school, or whether you're going to keep your band music in or whatever it be, you can go ahead and bring your own binders. But going back to the instruments, you are allowed to have your own instruments. That brings us to a good point too. When it comes to, if you play guitar, you are allowed to bring your guitar. But if you play an electric guitar, I do recommend that if you bring an amplifier, that you do not play it loud, because if there's one noise complaint, disturbance, anything like that, the TLAs will take it and hold it in their offices until it's time to go on break and make you take it home. So there's a little bit about instruments for you as well.
Okay, Alan, can you talk to us about the breaks, when the breaks are, and how long each break is, please?
So aside from the full furloughs and the mini furloughs, which are considered breaks, the breaks that school-wide gets, you can't stay on campus during breaks, and those major breaks are Thanksgiving, Christmas, and spring break. Thanksgiving is a whole week long, Christmas is almost a whole month long, and spring break is an entire week as well. And so what you do after your last class on those breaks and Christmas break, it's after your last final. During finals week during the fall semester. That's after your last final that you can leave. And then for Thanksgiving and spring break, it's after your last class on Friday.
Okay, and Violetta, can you talk to us about how the laundry services work, please?
Yes, so we do have laundry service here. We have 10 washers and 10 dryers. However, your first semester, you guys will not be allowed to use our washers and our dryers. You can take your laundry to laundry service and dry cleaning. They're gonna do your laundry and give it back in 2 days. I would suggest that you really manage your time and when you take your uniforms, because it does take them two days to do your laundry and give it back. Also, a good tip for your classy uniform, which are your blue pants and white shirt, is to take it to dry cleaning. They're gonna wash it and iron it for you, so you don't have to sit in your room and iron your own shirts.
Okay, now this is going to be a question for Katie, since you are from here. What is there to do in Roswell, New Mexico?
It's a small town, so there's actually a lot to do. A lot of us, when you're here, you're gonna realize that you don't actually want to do a lot. You just want to eat and you want to sleep. However, if you don't want to do that, we do have movie theaters. We go to the movies a lot. When there's a new movie coming out, it's kind of funny to see the whole theater is nothing but white shirts, which is us, NMMI cadets. We have what's called bottomless lakes. If you guys are from a big water area, you're probably not going to be too happy about it. It's a small lake. It has a beach on it, so we like going there just for a couple hours on the weekends. We go to Starbucks a lot, and then we go to a restaurant which is local. It's called Yoli's. It serves ice cream. We always hang out there. So we just go in groups to little festivities. We have Cinco de Mayo Day, and we travel around there, seeing all the cool booths. So we just get in the community. However, if there's nothing going on, eat, sleep, go to the movies, and repeat.
Okay, great. So now we're going to have one last question. If you were to give your rat self a piece of advice, whether it's practical or inspirational, what would it be? And we'll start with you, Katie.
The first day you get here, always bring your luggage on wheels. Secondly, the water here tastes terrible. It's mineral water. Bring a Brita water bottle. Always write to your parents. Don't cry because it's going to be over quickly. And bring insoles. Get boots here and they're super uncomfortable. And that's what I would have told myself 6 years ago.
How about you, Alan? What would you tell your rat self?
So what I would tell my rat self is to sleep on top of my made bed so I won't have to take it down and make it every single day, because it is a bunk. It has your desk on the bottom and then your bed is on top. You have to climb a ladder to get to it. So nobody likes taking the mattress down and having to make it and then put it back up and worry about if the made bed is gonna slip or something. So just bring a blanket to sleep on top of the made bed. And there's one tip.
Okay, Violetta, what would you tell your rat self?
I would tell myself, make more friends. Do not be afraid to speak and to open up to people, especially for international students. Whenever we come here, we have an accent and you're always going to have it. People are going to mention it and it's fine. So I would tell myself, make more friends, because once when I opened up and I decided to actually talk to people, I made some friends, like lifelong friends.
Okay, and Ian, what would you tell your rat self?
I would tell my rat self to not be scared. I think that's super important. There's no reason to come in on your first day afraid of anything. After your first 2 days, everything just flies. You get used to everything. There's nothing to be scared of. You don't need to worry if you're going to make friends, if you won't make friends, if everybody hates you. There's no need to worry about any of that. No need to worry if the PT is going to be too hard or if the academics is going to be too hard. As somebody, there's always going to be somebody there that can help you out. That if you're struggling with anything, we have counselors on campus that you can talk to. There's nothing to be afraid of because there's always going to be some way to help you in any struggle you may have.
And as for myself, I guess as a rat of 10 years ago, I would tell myself to not be afraid of asking for help. Like Violetta said, for international students, English is your second language and you have an accent. And yes, people will bring it up, but you're working on it, you're getting better. Don't get too stressed out. I remember I was so nervous, I would even confuse like left and right. They would tell me left face and I would turn the other way. And I struggled for the first time ever in academics because I was too afraid to ask my English teacher for help. All your teachers will be available for help. They will be there for you in the morning. They will be there for you during that study hall. There's tutors. There's also those students, your peers, like Ian mentioned earlier, like from the National Honor Society or Phi Theta Kappa for the junior college. If you're too afraid to reach out directly to your teacher, go to your peers first. They're willing to help as well. And then your teachers, like I said, they're eager to be there for you to ask for help and they like that initiative. So definitely don't be scared. But that